Okay, so I wanted to talk a little bit about recording and specifically knowing when your song is ready to be recorded. So this is another one that comes up quite a lot with my students and just in general. When do I know that my song is done and it's good to go and I can press record? Okay, so look, that's up to you, right? So that's a variable that only you can decide on. But here are a few tips. Okay, first of all, structurally, is the song complete? Like, do you know what every part of the song is? So you got an intro, probably, you got a verse, you got maybe a pre-chorus, maybe not, you got a chorus, you got potentially a little break somewhere there before the next verse 3 or verse 2, depending on, of course, the structure. So you got intro, verse, pre-chorus maybe, chorus, a little bit of a break, verse, another pre-chorus or not, chorus, a break in the song, or what some people call a bridge, whatever, and then another chorus and an outro. Okay, that could be the structure of your song. Great, that's done. Beautiful. So you've worked out your harmony, you've worked out your melodic line, you've got all your lyrics written. Okay, everything fits beautifully. You've got a good idea about that. Great. You're good to go. The next question is, what kind of a recording are we talking about here? Is it going to be, guitar vocal, piano vocal, right? Just a simple demo? You just want to showcase your song? Or are we talking about a full production? And if we're talking about a full production, obviously we're talking about arrangement, orchestration, right? So you got to arrange the parts in a way that works. You're going to have drums, you're going to have bass. This is the usual suspects. Drums, bass, guitar, piano, synth, okay? For pop rock, basically that's what we're talking about. That's the usual instrumentation that you're going to find in a song, but maybe your genre is something else, right? So whatever it is, whatever that the instruments are going to be on your song, figure that out, the arrangement of it, okay? And then, of course, you have to press record and perform the song. Are you going to perform it? Or are you strictly a songwriter? Are you just writing the song? Do you have an artist in mind? Are you at that level? Or is this just for you and your family and friends? So that's another part of it, right? You got to talk, you got to figure out your goals. You got to, have a think about what do you want to do? Okay. Do you want to be a pro? Do you want to be published? So you're going to have a pretty well polished demo if that's the case. But you can even go past that this day and age in a studio like this. You'd be surprised how far you can take it. Okay. So now if you are playing and singing, all right, and I'll tell you what I do, okay? So I do sing. I can't sing everything, obviously. If it's a female vocal that's required for the song, it ain't gonna be me, okay? Or if it's a really heavy metal kind of voice or a country voice, I can't do country, okay? So I'm more in the pop rock genre. So I'll do it. If I can do it, I'll do it. I'll sing it. I'm capable enough of doing that. I'll play guitars for sure. I'll play the bass, okay, on the song. I don't play drums, right? Now, the majority of the songs that I write require drums, bass, guitar, vocal. That's it. It's very simple. Once in a while, some synth or some piano, very easy to program. And the other thing I program, of course, is the drums. So drums I don't play, drums I would program, and I use Easy Drummer as my software of choice, which is amazing. I mean, the samples are incredible. They're actual samples, and what's even more important than the actual samples, great drum samples you could find anywhere, really. What's more important than that is that Easy Drummer uses actual drummers to play the beats, okay, into a MIDI recording software where they capture the drum beat and the feel, the groove, everything of actual drummers. And these are world-class drummers, okay? And you can even buy MIDI packs of actual famous drummers and session drummers that do all kinds of genres. And these are actual, so it's not like back in the day we used to program drums and, you know what I mean? And it sounded fake as. I mean, it still did the job, but, it's you're not going to get the essence of an actual drummer. Whereas Easy Drummer does that, and it does it in an amazing way. So it's pretty cool. I'm very happy with that software. That's what I use. And so when it's time to press record, I'm pretty much ready. Now, if I'm not fully ready, whatever. It doesn't really matter. I'll work it out in the DAW. If my arrangement is sort of moving around a little bit and I'm not 100% happy and I'm working things out, I'll work it out. I got the time. This is my studio. I'm at home. Okay? So that's another consideration. Where are you recording? Do you have the capacity to record at home, to do a decent demo? Or are you going to hire someone? Are you going to go somewhere into a studio, maybe not a pro studio, but even a home studio, and pay a certain amount, and you're paying usually on an hourly rate in that situation, or it could be a daily rate, whatever. More pressure there, obviously. So if you're hiring someone or hiring session musicians, if you're not capable of playing, you don't play an instrument, you're just a songwriter, right? Or you don't play well enough, or you can't sing, or whatever. Plenty of songwriters don't sing. That's okay. But that means you got to bring in people. So when you're bringing in people into your project to record, obviously you better be ready. Okay? Otherwise, it's going to cost quite a lot. All right? And gone are the days where, record companies had huge budgets for this kind of thing. I mean, bands would go into a studio and stay there for weeks or even months, sometimes recording and writing, and they would do everything in the studio, in these pro studios that would charge ungodly rates. But nobody cared because the money was flowing in. The budgets were huge. Okay, that doesn't happen anymore. Okay, those days are gone. But even at a lower level, still, when the time is ticking, the clock is ticking. Obviously, the pressure is on. But if it's not, and you're at home, don't worry about it. Take your time. And sometimes you'll find that if you don't put a lot of pressure on yourself and you just, it's written, I'm good to go, I'm happy with it, let's hit record, let's see what happens, and then the song can start materializing sometimes in a different direction. It's pretty amazing. I read an interview with the Rolling Stones where they were talking about Sympathy for the Devil when they went into the studio to record that song. Initially, the idea for that song had no bongos, it had none of that. It didn't have the rhythm and the feel of the song that we know now. It was a completely different thing. I think it was just a guitar, some rhythm acoustic. I think it was an acoustic guitar, yeah. And it had it's strange. Look it up, but it was just an incredible, like a different song. But in the studio, they were going through it. The producer was there, engineer was there. They all give their input, obviously. And the band, of course, is like, you know what, I'm not feeling this. And then someone picked up the bongos. I don't know who it was. And it just went, and the rest is history. It just went from there. So amazing things can happen during the recording process. Okay, so don't ever think that your song has to be completely done, completely finished before hitting record, because incredible things can happen while recording, especially if you're working with other people. If you're in a band or even in a studio with session musicians, incredible things can happen when you're bouncing ideas off each other. All right, so don't ever think like it has to be completely done. Everything has to be worked out. It has to be exactly like this because, hey, we're talking about art here, okay? We're talking about art, which is, it can change. And you can get inspiration from different places. And next thing you know, you're going in a different direction. It's pretty amazing when that happens. You start in one way and the song is just like you think you're done. And then once you start mucking around with it, even if you're by yourself, you start playing around with it, with your DAW, with your software, with different ideas, different inspirations coming at you. And you're multi-tracking, of course. So you're over here when you're working out your song, 9 times out of 10, you've got your instrument, you've got your piano, your guitar, whatever. But in the computer, I mean, there's no limit, really. You could have multiple tracks, multi-tracking, overdubbing, and all kinds of creative ideas can come through that way. So it's pretty cool. But for me, when is the song done? When are we when do we start recording? When do we stop writing the song and start recording? It's a fluid thing. You know, you press record. As far as I'm concerned, you've written your song. Great. It's written well enough. Awesome. Press record and let's continue exploring, creating, and discovering. You know, there's no limit there, especially when you're in an environment like this. And you can take your time and you don't have to worry about it. Okay, there's no real pressure there, and just allow your creativity to shine through. All right? So I hope that helps you guys out with that. It's a very common consideration and concern that a lot of songwriters and a lot of my students come to me with. So I hope that helps out a little bit. And until next time, take care.